I'm not exactly sure what this is trying to be, but it ain't worse than $5,000 with a stamped deck. Another thing I've never understood is why they keep them all outside to get rained on. Down there is what I started off with. Of course, this is a newer model, but I had a D110, and that's not what you want to use to start with. You might get off to a good start with that, but this right here and this right here, these are just Decepticons perpetrating to be something commercial with their stamped deck.
Shame on you, Lowe's. And John Deere, you should know better.
Greetings, Lawn Care Nation, part-time lawn care channel fans. I'm big time now. I got me a $10 mic from Amazon, but hopefully this is going to provide y'all with some better audio quality. This is my backyard here. Stupid loud dogs that think that I am a bad guy or something. But as you can see, it's winter time. Trying to get them to shut their trap so y'all can hear me. I like being outside and get away from my 8 kids so y'all can hear me that way, but now my other 7 kids, they don't want to keep quiet. But anyway, let's try to go forward with this video. It's just going to be a casual coffee talk video format. Today's topic: beware of sheep in wolves' clothing. What do I mean by that? It seems that there are a rash of poser zero turns out there trying to perpetrate like they are commercial grade when they're not even close. I was supposed to do a video yesterday that I told a viewer, kind of promised that I would have out, and I apologize for that. I could not because of the rain and for scheduling constraints. We were going to race the 2 Bradley stand onions that we have, the 52 and the 36. So as soon as we can get that done, we will do it. I promise you. That should be fun. But anyway, I went to Lowe's and I saw this John Deere, nice looking residential zero turn. But the first thing I looked at was the ROPS bar, the roll bar, some people call it. That was cool. That was eye-catching. And then it had a nice seat. And it had big, beefy front wheels. So I parked the truck and moved in closer. Upon further examination, the next thing I see, a stamped deck. Kiss of death, baby. It's got to be fabricated, guys. And that thing is either 10 or 11 gauge. You want 7 gauge fabricated decks, because most of the time the decks wear out when they're stamped, and 10 gauge or higher. And that's your money maker, is your deck. That's where a lot of the action happens, is up under that deck cutting that grass. So stay away from the stamped deck. The big old balloon tires I saw just screamed, I will pop on you the first chance I get. They looked very thin ply, and they just looked like big beach balls. I looked at the motor. I didn't realize it was Kawasaki. I guess I don't have the trained eye unless I have stickers in front of me beating me over the head. I thought it was a Briggs, which I'm okay with Briggs. I'm running 2 Briggs right now. First mower I ever had a Briggs, and the motor was the best thing about it. I can't take anything away from Briggs and Stratton. So it has a Kawasaki 24 horsepower motor, and that is strong, that is big. But this is about a 750 pound mower we're talking about. And it's perpetrating itself to be something that is not. It's got the commercial look, had a 54-inch deck, Big forks, big wheels, decent tires on the back, nice big motor. Motor's probably the best thing about it. The seat looked good, but the cut quality is just not going to be there. And the longevity of the machine's not going to be there. It does have a 4-year warranty, but with 300 hours. The Gravely's have 4-year warranties with 500 hours, and the price point was $5,000. Now for $5,000, you can get you a really nice commercial grade Kubota Gravely, and please tell me about some others that you guys are aware of. Whether they are commercial or residential, they are commercial grade. They have 3,100 transmissions on them, and they are serviceable, and they will last. Now when you get into these residential zero turns, you're talking about 2,200, 2,800. These days they do last longer. There are people having them last 900 to 1,000 hours before they have to replace them. But not so long ago, that wasn't the case. They would crap out on them 100, 200, 300 hour mark. So I would be cautious of that. Now, I graduated from the John Deere D110 to the Husqvarna, let me see if I can get this right, Z242. And that had an 18.5 Kawasaki motor, which is nothing but the truth, and 2,200 hydro gears. 42-inch deck, fabricated. I'm not sure what the gauge is on that. I'm going to have to check that out. But anyway, the deck is tough as nails. I think it's a clean cut system. It looks like it's got baffles all up in it. And man, that thing would stripe. I wasn't even trying to stripe, and it was striping like crazy. Didn't need a flap or a kit or anything. If I had some good, healthy, tall, fast skew, she was getting striped. Point is, I was able to operate in 2019 and 2020 with that, and that was with 3 different employees not respecting it and beating the dog crap out of it. And she still, she still performed strong. There's only one issue with it right now, which isn't really an issue. And it seems to happen to a lot of this particular brand. It's when you engage the parking brake on the handle, one side doesn't go all the way down, which you need in order to start it. So I just put a little tension on it with my leg if I have to choke, which is kind of ratchet, or with my arm if it's a warm day. It's no big deal. You can make do, and I would suggest if you're starting out now and looking at this video, start out with a zero turn. Not the riders with the steering wheels. That's not the route you want to take. My first year with that John Deere, it didn't last through June. It crapped out on the yard, and it was the fuses, and I really didn't know how to work on them at that point. So I got stuck. And one thing that did happen to me that I do know about is the front wheels popping off. They have those slip rings, or I call them E-rings, with a cap on them. There's no bolts or anything. The suckers would pop off the axle, and I'd be there in someone's backyard trying to find the hardware and put it back on. Talk about embarrassing. The cut quality's not there. I did mention the motor was a Briggs. The motor was strong. She purred. It's probably the best thing about it. Seat ripped. Hood was all flapping around. Now I did buy it used, but it only had 400 hours on it when I got it. So it still had a lot of life left in it, but the deck was rusting out. And all in all, the efficiency was not there. You can't make those tight turns. You got to get creative with it and double back on yourself. It does beat push mowing, but this is not what you want to build your company around, is a rider. Now, if that's all you have, then so be it. But try to make enough money and buy you a used commercial zero turn or a brand new residential zero turn, but do your shopping. Make sure they have fabricated decks, preferably a Kawasaki motor. Color motors are good. Briggs are good. A lot of people frown upon them, but Kawasaki's are pretty darn good. You can't beat them. And if you can get one with serviceable hydro gears, by all means get it. But just know that If they are the maintenance-free ones, that you need to dump that bad boy within 2 or 3 years, or you're going to end up having to pay anywhere between $900 and $1,800 to fix those things, the transmissions. But you can definitely get going. The efficiency will be there. You can stripe with it. You can sit down with it, which is nice, but these days I realize that stand-ons are actually more comfortable. Now, if you can afford it or you have the credit and you're going all in on the part-time thing, go ahead and get you a stand-on, man, because you're going to get there anyway. It's just like buying a 5x8 trailer. Go ahead and get you a 6x12 because you're going to get there eventually anyway. So unless you like buying equipment and flipping it and selling it, which you can do, I've always been able to sell it for what I got it for, then you can do that. But spend your money wisely. That's the whole point of all this. And I need another sip of coffee. Just want to make y'all aware of the posers that are out there trying to act like there's something that they're not. Shoot, the same thing could be said for me, but I'm happy with my performance level. I'm happy with the level that my business has grown to, and I'm very optimistic about where we're going. Part-time lawn care is very profitable. Not too many people can go out and make $500, $600 a day and even employ some people if they need to and help them out. So being your own boss is great, and no one can say that it isn't.
There's plenty of good entry-level commercial grade zero turns out there to choose from. There's also some fusions between the residential and commercial brands and types of zero turns out there. There's a lot of Ariens, or Aarons as people pronounce them, different parts of the country. Gravely, Kubota, Dixie Chopper, just to name a few. There's Bad Boys. There's all kinds of good stuff. Standard even has the Standard B, which would be perfect at this price point. If you're spending $5,000 on a hunk of junk that I just showed you, Bubba, you just did yourself wrong. You could have made a lot wiser purchase, and I'm sorry that you did purchase it if that's the case. But if you're looking into it, do your shopping, get the specs, know what you're buying or know what you're looking at, because this is your money-making opportunity. This is your business. This is your tools and equipment, and you only want the best for yourself, and the same goes for me. I only want the best for you guys, which is why I'm doing this video. So hope you got some good information out of it, and enjoy the shopping, and wishing you the best in 2021, Part-Time Lawn Care Nation.